Rajat to mission control. Yes, sir. Mission success, sir. No, sir. It was very easy. No casualties. We are returning to base now. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Operation Smooth Sailing. RCB Cruise Control. Defending champions are back. And how good did we look, gentlemen? Any quick words from you guys on how amazing it was, to be back? And I want to give it to you, Rai, first, since birthday boy, happy birthday. What better birthday gift could you get than being at the stadium and seeing your team do that?
Yeah, I think my 29th birthday, also revealing my age here. It was probably one of the best now. It's going to be hard to top this one with such a, I would say, classy performance, man, like pure class. Like we were oozing class. And the only way I would summarize yesterday in terms of just the vibe at the stadium, everything that we went through, the way the match went about, we played like defending champions, yes. Like that's a statement start, right? And it was not a one season thing. This team is holy shit, like
Yeah.
real superstars, and we really flexed yesterday. Really flexed. Yeah.
No, 100%. I mean, guys, we're all football fans here, so there's gonna be a bunch of analogies to football. But I just want to say it felt like Manchester City, multiple year champions going into the first game, playing against some newly promoted team, picking up 3 points, 4-0 up, Jacob Duffy, first goal, 15 minutes, smooth sailing after that. Ishan Kishan put up a fight. Like, yeah, maybe it was 1-0 at the halftime. But man, we could have smashed them for as many goals as we wanted in the second half, the way it looked. Like, it was truly just a performance of champions. So, Ayush, as a big football fan yourself, anything to say? And also, I know you wanted to comment on Shubi not being here. So, yeah, why don't you start with that?
Yeah, I'll start by informing our viewers that we have brought Shubi from the show, given that he made a really terrible prediction, and that's why you're not seeing him today. And anyway, I'll move on to the game now. I apologize on his behalf. And yeah, it was a great feeling. It was a great day, and so I mean, as you already mentioned, it was Rai's birthday, and his birthday celebration post the game really depended on how we played. So yeah, I think we had a blast because of that. So it was not just the game; the whole day was like massive for us, and yep, we played like champions. Everything that Rai already said.
Absolutely. I know how good the day was because we're recording this so late and getting this out to you late. Some may say, it's the day after hangover. But less said the better. Less said the better. Ariman, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. Ariman is joining us from New York City, but is a true Bangalore boy, Guju at heart, Bangalore by sport, and big Manchester United fan. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. And I think it's a great day to join. Like first game of the season, big win, vibes are flowing. We have like good momentum from the last season. So yeah, couldn't be happier.
Yeah, amazing stuff. Honestly, guys, I totally forgot to mention this, but before we get into on the field stuff, I want to mention some off the field wins. Um, Firstly, we're 7 or 8 days into our first video going out, and we just hit 260 subscribers on YouTube. So thank you so much for all the love, and please keep it up, guys. I mean, it's really hard to start, and these early days, all your support goes a long way. And that's why I wanted to mention also the giveaway we did for the Sunrisers game. That's something, we never thought we would do. And the overwhelming response from you guys, the feedback, it really was so heart-wrenching for us. And it showed us, what we're building is really this community here. So yeah, shout out to the day ones. We hope that, you'll take part in more of these giveaways. We hope to give you this. No promises, but every time we can get tickets, be sure that you will receive a chance to get them as well. And just wanted to shout out our two winners, Varalakshmi and Krupal. It was actually both their first times in the stadium, and they had an absolute blast. Here's a few videos and pictures that they shared with us. And here's a little message from Krupal, who was so happy.
It was a super match, and this experience happened because of the Red and Bold show giveaway. Grateful for this. This is not just a match. This is a memory.
Local Kannada boy, he got to see his star Virat, he got to see Devdutt Padikkal, and he's all pumped about the second star loading. All right, gentlemen, just wanted to ask you, and let's go in this order. Let's start with you, Ariman, then Rai, then Ayush. When did the game feel in the bag? Like, when did you feel like, yeah, now you're just watching for the fun of it?
I think we know Chinnaswamy is like a batting pitch. And before the game, I kind of told myself, like, 200 is good. Like, I'd be happy with that. I think we could chase it. And so I think with that in mind, when Phil Salt pulled that catch out of the bag, and we got Ishan out, that's when I kind of knew that, okay, we can have a competitive, like, total on the board to chase. And he was like the danger man. So as soon as he was gone, like, I knew that was it for us.
Rai, what about you? Phil Salt catch.
Yeah, no, for me, I feel like when Klaasen got out, I knew that scope, like, the difference if he stayed was definitely at least 20, 30 runs. In fact, funny, when Virat dropped that catch, I remember telling us that it felt like if he had caught that, I think we would have been chasing below 200 for sure. And
Yep.
it would have been a cakewalk. But yeah, Ayush mentioned something about wanting to have a good and fun game in the stadium. So there's like for us to score and for our boys to get 50s and be in form, we got to chase something, right? So would take 200 every day. Flat pitch, absolutely flat pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ayush, I know you have your ideas on when the game was won. When did you feel confident of the win?
Right when I walked into the stadium.
It's the motherfucking Eagle Double G.
Snoop Dogg!
But no, just adding on to what Rai was saying, that yeah, like, and I wasn't even joking when I said this to him at the game. I was like, yeah, we need to concede at least like 190 or 200 for this to even be like a good game to watch, because otherwise it'd be too easy. And also, like, I wanted it to be like a statement win where like people get to bat and score big and get that 200 and make us feel better, rather than just having to chase like a 150, which it felt at some point, honestly, the way we started off. So yeah, I'm glad that we had that many runs to chase. Felt good.
Yeah, I mean, maybe my perspective is different because I was watching on TV, but I would have taken chasing 140. But I totally understand you guys in the stadium are like, nah, that's too easy. But guys, we made 200 feel like a 140 chase. That was really something. Was their bowling that bad? Was our batting that good? What do you put this down to? Right, let me start with you.
Both. Their bowling was really bad, but I think it was like we felt the change when Salt got out. I felt like we were like, okay, maybe it might not be like a super easy 15 over finish for sure. That's when we're like, okay, maybe they'll get a few wickets here and there. But the way DDP started, first ball flick, smooth. Man, that guy didn't like literally by the time it was the fourth over, he made it look so easy. Like we were literally talking about how he was just hitting it all around the park, 360. And it was
Easy.
beautiful. Yeah. And I think the
And
one thing
care
definitely
where the fielders were, man. He was hitting like sixes right above their heads. I remember one like backward
everywhere.
point. Wow.
For sure. Yeah, so
Um,
so the only thing I'll mention here last is that in the stadium, something that you can see is the body language of the other players. So usually, like in the stadium, when you're watching on TV, you can't. And there was a phase in around the seventh over when Ishan Kishan left wide, like the ball went back, and he actually left and gave us 10 extra runs throughout the game. And it happened twice. And he's a captain, and you could see his face and his body language go down, and you could feel that energy in the stadium. There was like sixth or seventh over. So I think that's when it really hit for us. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I can't believe we got him this far in the video and no one's mentioned the gift he gave us with his legs or his wicket keeping or his lack thereof. I mean, that was like 10 runs on the board with 0 balls. In a chase that was anyway rather easy. But anyway, enough on Ishan. Guys, I want us to talk about our team, and here's a new segment we want to try. So let's get into it. 6 things we learned. All right, Ariman, I'm going to start with you. What's one thing you learned from the game today?
I think this might be an obvious one, but it has to be Duffy. This confirmed to me that the management, the coaching, the way they've put the team together, they really know what they're doing. And I feel like they're targeting bowlers who would succeed at the Chinnaswamy. So Duffy is a very hit the deck bowler. His lines were so good that he didn't allow them room to swing. His lengths were so good that they can't drive on the up. So
Yep.
they he's forced all of their left-handers to play these awkward cross-body square of the wicket shots, like over the deep mid-wicket boundary. And he kind of forced them into the wicket. Right? He's manufactured 3 wickets for us in the power play. So I think that was huge. The main thing that stands out is we have a bowler who suits our conditions and plays to the strengths of the wicket. And so that's a big thing moving forward. He kind of reminds me of Hazelwood a lot, actually, in the way he executed the plan. So that was awesome to see.
100%. Ayush, it looks like you had something to say on Duffy.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that, like, post game, we'd been talking about what happens when Hazelwood is fit. And it again goes down to the discussion we had pre-season saying that, like, we have such good options that, I mean, it's a problem, but it's a good problem to have. And we were also talking about the possibility of Hazelwood and Duffy both playing maybe. And obviously that's a conversation for a different time maybe because it'll obviously require a lot of thinking about which foreigner is going to get dropped.
Guys, I just wanted to add one moment that really struck me about Duffy. And this was in actually an over he wasn't even bowling. So this was the 6th over. I believe it was Abhinandan. And at this point, Duffy had already bowled 3 overs. And now we know he was just about to bowl the very next one, right? So this is between his 3rd and 4th over. He was fielding at covers. And I think Ishan just smashed it over, but mishit it. Almost reached the boundary. And Duffy is the guy who almost ropes it back in. And guys, it's really hard to bowl 4 overs back to back in a spell. And then to make an effort like that from covers, I wanted to shout out that moment. I know everyone's going to talk about his wickets and his economy, but his commitment. And I want to say one more thing about Duffy and how amazing New Zealanders are is after the game in the interview, he basically smiled and said yeah, I'm just keeping Hazelwood's seat warm. What a legend, man. He knows, the role he has to play and he's playing it to the T. Like you said, Ariman, executing plans to the T. Right, let's go to another lesson you learned. What else do you want to talk about?
I think the one that I mentioned again, DDP, right? I don't think we can. He was in the shout for man of the match with Duffy as well, right? It was one of them for sure. I think to have that season, and we've spoken about it in a preview as well, to be scoring so many runs in domestic cricket, being in that form, you want to see if you can continue it. And the whole form conversation was a proof in this game with Ishan Kishan batting the way he did, and then for DDP to be batting the way he did, which is, I think, we're clearly in that stage where everyone's a good cricketer, right? And especially with India having so many issues with their selection and RCB with their selection, there's no conversation when you're taking such form into a tournament or into a game. It was class from ball 1, and he literally had no bad shot or a mistimed shot, except for the one in which he got caught, right? So I think that was the only time he made an error. But the time he was there, I was in the stadium with Ayush, and we could not believe it. We couldn't believe how easily he was doing it. It was super crisp and class, just pure class. Pure class. That's the word I would use for him. So huge ups to him. So that who's going to bat in number 3 conversation is very much done. So if Venki is trying to get in, brother, you got to find a different spot in this team.
Yeah. After watching the DDP innings, I was telling Guy that we paid 7 CR for a water boy.
Yes, a water boy with a nice haircut though. So at least there's that. Guys,
One
stats of the
thing,
Sorry, go ahead, Ariman.
one thing that I will say about DDP that I'd really like, he does play classical cricket shots. You're not going to see him with the scoops and the reverse sweeps or anything. He's textbook cricketer, but he just shows the aggression. And another thing I really noticed is he was kind of shuffling around the crease a little bit. So he's getting in the bowler's head. and then just sticking to the basics and executing it really well. So that was
To
amazing to see.
Ariman's point there was one really interesting thing. Midway through his innings, guys, he played a shot where he came 2 steps down to a fast bowler, hit him over cover, right? And you never see him play a shot like that, like say even 2 years ago. So he's
Yeah.
definitely worked on his game. So it's not just, he's a great player, always, had the ability for sure, but to work and make sure that your strike rate is up there. He hit what? I think his strike rate was 220, I think, when he ended 210 or 220. It's pretty crazy.
No,
Yeah.
it was more like 234 or something. But yeah, no, incredible stuff, man.
Maybe, yeah.
DDP's transformation, I think even last year, he showed us the teaser and now he's the real thing, man. Guys, here's my favorite stat of the game. I heard this on the comms. So I think both the gentlemen who were at the game don't know this. But believe it or not, who do you think is our highest outside of Virat? So non-Virat Indian run scorer for RCB.
Outside of Virat, right? Indian.
DDP then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is. It is.
In
But
context,
only
it had to be DDP, right?
it had to be. But
Yeah.
he actually took over from Rahul Dravid. So before this, Rahul Dravid at I think it was 1132. If Google Gemini is right and they claim to be. So if that's true, then wow, isn't that crazy, man? DDP just
but
taking over.
that also goes to show Adi how bad our Indian contingent was for the last
Bit,
17
yeah.
years.
And our over reliance on foreigners.
Yeah.
Like the fact that DDP in just a few years of, he's our best non-Virat player, I guess. Okay. Cool. Ayush, lessons learned.
I have to go with Salt, and I mean, there's a simple reason for that. Post the game, I had a lot of people coming to me and telling me that my bold prediction for the game was wrong. I had said 15 plus of 6 balls. But let me remind you that catch, he saved 15 runs or more already with that catch. So before he even came into bat, he'd done that job. And yeah, so obviously, specifically speaking about the Ishan Kishan catch, that's when I'm saying that he would have saved at least 15 to 20 runs. And apart from that, also his fielding was insane. Like before he took any of the catches, he was fielding right in front of us, by the way. And so Rai and I were talking about how he's an incredible athlete. Like you can't really tell on TV, but when he was running across the field, even trying to save the boundaries, it was like just an insane effort, from his end. And obviously, he took 3 important catches, which is not very easy. When you're in the stadium, you realize like the how bright the lights are up in the sky, and it's not so easy to see. We saw VK drop a catch, we saw Klaasen drop a catch, so it's not that easy. And I mean, he took a blinder. There's no doubt about that. But what about the other two as well? So they were all big moments, I think,
Yeah.
and that changed the game.
Yeah. Fun story on that, guys. So I'd gone out to get water. So you're not allowed to take bottled water in the stadium because you throw it and whatever, right? So you have to get water in these white cups. So I think Anu Andi Adi asked for water. So I quickly came back with the water. So I've literally walked up the flight of stairs and then in the stand, right? So I'm holding the 3 cups like this and I enter and the ball goes up. Literally, I've entered there and I'm standing there waiting to go to my seat. The ball goes up and everyone around us, obviously everyone's looking at, okay, when the ball goes up, who's going to catch it? And literally people next to me are like, oh, it's too far, right? In that split second. And he's grabbed it and everyone has gone berserk when he caught that. And then his celebration was, pointing to us where I was standing was literally, he's doing that in his celebration. And I shit you not, I was like, dude, I really want to throw this water in the air as well. It's so crazy how that moment happened. It was madness. And literally when I came, I think Ayush and my sister and everyone else were like, dude, I hope you didn't miss that. Right? Because you had gone to things. I got super lucky with that. But insane. Me and Ayush couldn't believe. The entire game, he was on our side, guys. We had a really good ticket. You'll see in the clips that we show as well, cover. So he's in the hot spot, him, David, and all of that. He took those 3, literally head, Klaasen, Ishan Kishan. Those are the 3 catches he took. And literally you can't, on the TV, you can't tell how hard it is, man. Flat. Even the head's catch was a flat catch on his chest. Klaasen, you know how it was. He had to fall back. He somehow stayed in. I don't know how many cricketers would have managed that for sure.
Incredible. No, absolutely incredible stuff. Speaking of incredible, I can't believe we've gone this far in the show and no one's talked about Kohli, other than Ayush, of course. Ayush, I'm going to give you one more chance to speak on Kohli because that innings was phenomenal, maybe rusty to begin with, but just vintage Virat to end. Why don't you take
Yeah,
it away?
it was incredible batting. Like it was, I mean, maybe a bit rusty to start with, sure, but I think the kind of shots he started playing after that, it was like this, classic Kohli shots. And you could tell that he's still in touch. Like we should be talking about how he's not played a lot of cricket and things like that. But clearly, for a player like that, it doesn't matter. He puts in the effort behind. He's going to be ready for the game, and he's a very passionate player. And also, the way Aryaman was talking about how DDP was shuffling in the crease, I think that element was also there in Virat Kohli's batting today. And like he walked down the pitch a couple of times. I mean, pretty early, so I think he received a lot of bounces because of that. But it was good to see that positive intent. Like normally, he's a very like standing where he is, like he stays where he is and he plays like that. But yeah, felt like a slightly different Virat Kohli, but the intent was there, the aggression was there, and the way he finished off the game in the last over, that was incredible. Like I think we needed 17 of the last over, and we didn't realize he's going to finish it off. It was
Hmm.
amazing.
Just amazing, guys. Here's a stat, another one from the commentary today. Virat has 4,000 IPL runs during chases. And I'm thinking to myself, well, so what? Like, I mean, he has 8,000 runs in total. I assume half of them are in chases, right? But apparently that was a stat that Harsha Bogle thought was worthy. So here it is for you guys. Aryaman, let's move on. Anyone else you want to give your flowers to?
Well, I think that I'm kind of excited to see Rajat Patidar's captaincy evolve a little bit. There were a couple of calls which I think we can get into. The big thing was bowling Duffy out in as soon as possible. I think that's worth mentioning. But just in general, I think he looks like he's calm. He looks like he's kind of grown into the role, and the management has given him the confidence and the platform to do what he does. And you can just see him like commanding his troops in the field. So that's amazing to see. So overall, I would say his vibe makes me feel comfortable. Like just seeing him out there on the field makes me feel like we have a plan, we're sticking to it, and we're gonna get the job done. So
But I would like to, I would like to point out though, like if his vibe while captaincy or in general is a calm demeanor, dude, when he came out to bat, I don't think there was anything calm about that innings though. Like DDP got out, right? And he was playing at that strike rate. You're like, there's no way anyone can match, 230, 240 from ball one. Man, this guy smoked it. Like we literally didn't realize where. So that was the moment where the game ended. Like he ended the game there. Like in 13 overs, he was going crazy. I think his strike rate, he ended at, I think, 260, 270, right? When he got out. Like he was, like his Dhurandhar hairstyle and the way he played, man, that's something to
Yeah.
look out. I think that's a huge plus. I mentioned that in our last video, Adi, as my X factor. I think for the season, if we have to do well in the middle order, we need him. And he hit the fast bowlers, by the way, not just the spinners. So I think it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was something really agreed. That, he's supposed to be the spin takedown guy, but he's not bad against space either. So happy about that. All right, that's 5 things, right? Last in our segment. What is one last flowers you want to give to someone?
Yeah, I think it's to an individual or rather to everyone who attended, which is the Chinnaswamy vibe, right? First game after a year, after we won, it was emotional. Obviously, the minute silence, which was a great gesture, no opening ceremony out of respect. I think it was truly, truly amazing. I think being in the stadium, being a part of, like that 1 minute silence was truly, truly something special. And I don't think it does anything more than it's like an energy thing, right? Where like it's such a popping stadium and all of that. And for 1 minute, you're just there, like whether it's a Virat Kohli, whether it's the opposition, it's us as fans, the opposition fans in the stadium, everyone, right? For that 1 minute was silent and remembering what happened. And to go from there back into the, IPL tunes, getting the crowd going. And I think just to get the ball rolling, the way Jacob Duffy started, I think that just got the crowd up, right? Because we were not sure about his performance or how he would add value. So for him to do that, the way he did it, the energy in the stadium was exactly how we thought it would be. And there was one exact thing that happened in the 14th over or something of that sort. The broadcasters started playing the title winning pictures on the screen in the stadium, and people went crazy. Like Virat kissing the cup, all of the stories from the cup and the season. So people went mad where I remember no one was watching the game. None of us were focusing on like what's happening in the middle. It was mid over. They couldn't see it. And Rajat hit a six. So it's like they're going crazy because of that. And it's like an eruption. And it happened twice in like 4 balls. And we couldn't believe it. Like that was like aura farming level 100. Like we were showing up. At that point the DJ is like, this game is done. There's nothing happening. These guys are here. They paid tickets. They paid a heavy price to come for this game. Let's make it fun. Amazing. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Rajat and Virat just looking up and seeing those images and then talking about like, yeah, let's just go again. Let's just like make this happen one more time, That's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Rajat and go again, he said it at the toss again. Like this was something he said in an interview, and he said at the toss today, basically using the same words that, hey, we're not defending anything. We're like coming here to win again. Like, don't think that hunger is gone. It's the same hunger from last year. And I think we're even more confident now that we've seen how we're gonna do it. Guys, all I'll say is I also just woke up this morning and found out that MS Dhoni is out for 6 weeks. Obviously, wish him a speedy recovery. I hope he can come back in 1 week. But after the RCB game, like honestly, bring on CSK, bring it. I'm so excited. I'm already imagining what the view from the top of the table is gonna look like. Our net run rate is like 3 right now. Life couldn't be better, guys. This is just the best start we can ask from our team. So I want to turn this on you as well. Why not smash the like button, drop a comment. How happy are you right now? Who do you want to give your flowers to? And if you can, please share this with a friend. We're always growing and we'll be doing more giveaways. So watch out on our Instagram channel at the Red and Bold Show. That's where we did our last giveaway. So make sure to keep watching that to not miss the next one. Thanks, take care, and play bold.